Releases are part of the business, and for the most part, they're understandable. People come, people go. That's how the industry has always worked. At least ever since I started watching wrestling back in 2005. People left, you didn't know why, and somehow, some way, if they were good enough and if they proved their worth on the outside, they came back. Well, recently, about 2-3 days ago, WWE made a few more cuts, a few more releases, and frankly, I'm here to talk about those 6 names that were released, plus 2 that were released back in April, 2 or 3 that were released back in April that I did not mention, because again, like I said, this in the wrestling industry, in the wrestling business, is normal, but sometimes you just have to talk about it. And the fact of the matter is that 2-3 days ago, WWE came to terms on the releases of Buddy Murphy, of Aleister Black, of Braun Strowman, of Ruby Riott, of Santana Garrett. In April, they released Samoa Joe and Andrade. They also released Lana, who was working her butt off to become better and better each and every week, and it was showing every time she appeared on Raw, whether it was on a singles match or on a tag team match. You could tell that she was improving and that she was putting in the work. And all these releases of these very extremely talented superstars, they have to be, otherwise they would not have been signed by WWE in the first place. All these releases come at a time that baffles the hell out of me, especially considering that we are about a month and a couple of weeks away from WWE returning back to touring. They're going to start visiting a lot of different cities with fans, expecting to see the top talent each and every single week. And to not have guys like Braun Strowman and Aleister Black and Samoa Joe and Buddy Murphy and Andrade and Ruby Riott and Lana and Mickie James and many, many more on those shows just to entertain the fans, that baffles the hell out of me. So that's the first point. The second point is, again, Braun Strowman, I've said it here time and time again, he's a very good worker. He's improved a lot since his Wyatt family days. I think he had always been lacking in the promo and mic category. Every time he grabbed a mic and started a promo, it seemed like, what this guy is saying, the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, it's scripted. It was handed to him. And he didn't really convey what he was trying to get across. That really seemed like the biggest issue, at least for me, on my part, with the Braun Strowman character and his performance. Other than that, in the ring, nothing against him. Like I said, I wouldn't have chosen him to be the face of the company, but he's definitely a guy you want in the main event, especially with his size and his talent. So again, other than the fact that there were reports that Braun Strowman's contract that he signed back in 2019 was worth a reported, rumored $1 million a year. That's the figure I've been reading online. Other than that, it doesn't really, I can't really put 2 and 2 together on the release of Braun Strowman. Raw's missing a lot of talent. They're missing a lot of main event stars, and you already had established one in Braun Strowman. Hell, he had been in the triple threat main event at WrestleMania Backlash just a few weeks ago. And then you release him. Oh well. Like I said, part of the business. Then you got a guy like, it wasn't too long ago, it was like last week when I started speaking about how thrilled I was that SmackDown had the vision, that the SmackDown creative team had the vision to pair Big E and Aleister Black in a feud, in a rivalry that could elevate both of them. That could elevate Big E into the main event scene and could elevate Aleister Black to the point where he was a solid mid-carder on the verge of a main eventer. And out of nowhere, Aleister Black is released. Even after his most recent vignettes, with his Dark Father gimmick starting up, gaining some steam, again, attacking Big E, starting this prominent feud, and I was wondering why it hadn't been featured last Friday night on SmackDown. And now we know why. They did not want to keep Aleister Black, and, again, baffled, shocked. If you can't find something to do with a guy, with a talent like Aleister Black on your roster, what the hell are you doing? Same goes for Andrade. Technical masterpiece. Lucha Libre style of wrestling. And you put him on the sidelines. He has quote-unquote heat, which everybody has. That's something that, a lot of wrestling fans like to talk about. Heat. Oh, he has heat. He has backstage heat. Here's the thing. You can have heat for absolutely anything. So whenever fans or news websites, news outlets talk about, oh, somebody has heat backstage. I wonder what they did to piss somebody off. Because that's the easiest way to get heat. Somebody gets pissed off. That's it. That's heat. Other than that, again, you have a guy like Buddy Murphy who had been proving himself. Hell, the matches he had with Aleister Black, what was it? Late 2019, I think. Yeah, still with crowds in the arenas. Those matches showed WWE that he had enough talent to keep up on the main roster. He had proven it years before on the 205 Live show, as a part of the Cruiserweights. But again, WWE has this running choke of creative decisions that just really hurt them. They really shoot themselves in the foot. Because they have the best talent in the world. You look at the roster up and down, even with these releases, you look at that roster and it's still one of the most talented rosters in all of professional wrestling. Inside the ring, WWE's roster cannot be matched. Unfortunately, creatively, character-wise, storyline-wise, that has been lacking since I can remember. That's something that WWE has to continue to work on. So Aleister Black, a wrestler, a superstar, a character that looks like that can perform in the ring like he did for years in NXT, and then how he performed in the ring against Buddy Murphy, against AJ Styles, and you let him go? You don't have anything for him? Really? Really? And then you got a women's tag team division that had promise 2-3 years ago when you started it off. You had a bunch of tag teams ready to go. Now you have 2. You had 3. You let Ruby Riott go. That's the end of the Riott Squad. What the hell? What, you're going to keep pairing off random female superstars together to make a women's tag team? Come on. Lana and Naomi, that's gone. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, never been high on them. I've been high on Mandy Rose for a while now, but they can't figure out what to do with her. Like always. But that's WWE creatively. They have nothing. They have the best tools in the world. And frankly, it seems like a kindergartner is, working a computer. They don't know what to do. They're playing with the calculator on the freaking computer when they can be doing some other stuff. Why? So this it's troubling. Again, it frees up most of these stars, which are very talented. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if they are this talented, they made it once to the WWE, they can make it back again. They have to once again prove their worth, whether it be in the Indies, or whether it be at Impact, or AEW, or the NWA, or Ring of Honor, or Major League Wrestling, or New Japan Pro Wrestling, wherever. They have to prove their worth once again, and there's no shadow of a doubt that they will. That's how talented these stars are. But these releases at this point in time shows that WWE is currently creatively bankrupt. Creatively bankrupt. That's it. That's it. Wrestling-wise, they got the best talent in the world. Storyline-wise, they can't do shit. So with that said, I'm going to leave you guys with that. It's Friday night, so tune into SmackDown. Let's see what the creative heads have for us on tonight's episode of SmackDown on Fox. So with that said, I've been Alexis Carrillo. Here's my rant on these most recent releases by WWE, the leader in sports entertainment. Have a great rest of your Friday, have a great weekend, and see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.